What's up, Crazed Nation? I'm Crazed Reviews, and today I'm bringing you a brand new JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Diamond is Unbreakable episode discussion. This one's going to cover both episode 12 and 13 because last week I was at an anime convention, so I wasn't able to watch the episode and give a discussion video on it. But nonetheless, I can do it right here, right now, because they flow and sync with each other. Basically, Josuke is meeting his father for the first time. So yes, Joseph makes his way into episode 12. Now with that episode, it's a whole deal with defeating Red Hot Chili Pepper in the same scenario. So we see not only Red Hot Chili Pepper returning for that episode, but we also see the stand user behind Red Hot Chili Pepper, which has a really cool character design. I mean, he's got that full-on rocker look. He's got the long hair, he's got the rocker outfit, he's got the AC/DC cuffs on him. He's really ready to shred. I mean, he even has a guitar that he just plays during the whole entire battle, which is pretty badass in my opinion. So I really enjoyed his character because it was like the most like rockin' character that we've ever gotten. And basically a lot of these characters are based off bands, and so are the stands. That's why they always have a like change the name of the stands, because they're always named after a band or some song, I'm sure. So that's usually what happens with the censoring that we see. That's why we don't see them say that it's Red Hot Chili Pepper in the subtitles. They're like, oh, no, gotta change that. They may say it in the anime with the voices and stuff, you know, they might say Red Hot Chili Pepper, but in the subtitles it'll be like Chili Pepper, you know? So, copyrights, man. Those damn copyrights. Anyways, so moving on to the story, it's a battle between Josuke and Red Hot Chili Pepper. Basically, Jotaro said, hey, me and Okuyasu are going to go get Joseph Joestar, but you guys are going to stay back because we know Chili Pepper is going to want to come over here and he's going to want to beat his way to Joseph instead of us getting to Joseph first, so they can pretty much kill him off and everything. So that being said, they have their battles when they meet up against each other. It looks like they have Josuke kind of cornered and everything, with the fact that there are vents all over the ground there. So Chili Pepper is going through every single vent and just popping up in random locations, basically circling around Josuke, so Josuke doesn't know where it's coming from and where to look. Just, he has to pretty much guess. But that's what Koichi is there for. He's there to spectate the battle and give out helpful hints to Josuke as to where Red Hot Chili Pepper is appearing, because Josuke's around the center of Red Hot Chili Pepper's little circle that he's running around every so often, popping up in places and trying to attack him. So Koichi is there to say, hey, look behind you, to the left, to right, you know, just help out Josuke land a punch on him. And basically that's what he does. Josuke ends up at some point punching a hole through a tire, or he breaks a tire at some point there, and reforms it around Red Hot Chili Pepper, trapping him in the tire because it's made out of rubber. So we all know what rubber does with electricity, pretty much cancels it out. So Red Hot Chili Pepper can't do anything. But, you know, then you're just like, whatever, and does his little guitar thing, and then next thing you know, we see Red Hot Chili Pepper punch a hole through the tire, but that tire is full of air. So what happens is, just like if you were to like let go of a balloon with a bunch of air, I guess, I don't know. It just basically the release of all that air just sends the tire flying out and into the ocean, which is full of salt water, and we see Red Hot Chili Pepper pretty much dying in the water. So, yeah. You would think, okay, they got him beat. But even I knew it wasn't going to be that simple. It was not at any moment going to be that simple. It did look like he was defeated, but not at that moment in time, because we do cut over to the ship where Jotaro and Okuyasu did meet up with Joseph, and Okuyasu is kind of interacting with Joseph, but Joseph is so old, he's got Alzheimer's and all this jazz messed up with him. He can't remember anything, he can't hear anything, he's just old as balls right now. So he's got a lot working with him, right now. So it was kind of hard to see all that, but it's still a huge comedic turn for Joseph Joestar, because he's always been known as the comedic Joestar here. He always comes up with these jokes during battles and stuff. He's always clowning around, and now he's just old and crazy is pretty much what he is now. So we still get that humor with him, though it's kind of hard to see, because you're like, oh man, this is kind of depressing to watch, but it's hilarious to see him interact with people, especially with Okuyasu, because he's not the brightest tool in the shed himself. So you get them two interacting, and it's just comedy gold at that point. And that's when we see Red Hot Chili Peppers stand user reappear. He's in uniform, just role-playing as he were working with Speedwagon Foundation to help transport Joseph Joestar. But an actual worker comes up and he's like, oh, that guy's an enemy stand user. And then he's just like, no, I'm not. This guy's an enemy stand user. Now Okuyasu's like, fuck, I'm retarded. I'm just going to hit both of you. And he lands a punch on the stand user first, so he doesn't have to hit the other guy. I mean, he explains this right after, punching him, because he did ask, wait, how'd you know it was me? And he's like, I'm not bright at all. I was going to punch both of you. So, he thought he was slick, but then Okuyasu showed him what's up. Moving on to episode 13, we see it is all about the bonding of Josuke and Joseph as they run into an invisible baby, which is yet another stand user, but this isn't any harmful at all. It kind of could have been, I guess, if it made, Joseph completely 100% invisible, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, I think it was more of a harmless situation. I don't think anyone was at risk at being hurt or harmed in the slightest bit. It's just a baby that really didn't know what was going on or anything, just kind of got lost from its parent, and to protect itself, it naturally made itself invisible using whatever stand ability it has. Now, when they met the stand baby, they actually had a little funny little thing where Joseph was kind of noticing the handprints and footprints and was like freaking out, like, oh my god. And Josuke's over there like, oh my god, this guy is crazy. He's not right in the head. He's seeing things and all this jazz. But they soon come to realization that yes, this is an actual baby, it's just invisible, that's whatever stand ability it has. So they take care of the baby. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to find a way to bring it back to its parents or something, but as of now it's based around them trying to take care of the child and everything, which they do. And there's also a lot of humorous situations because of it, like babies, they always poop. So guess what, this baby pooped in Joseph's hand. So one, the baby was naked apparently from what Joseph said in the first place, and two, it pooped all over his hand. So, one, he needed to get diapers, and two, he needed to get clothes. Next thing you know, he had to get milk bottles for it, and etc., etc. So he ends up going to this local store to buy diapers, and he goes up to the clerk like, hey, I need diapers. And the clerk actually goes up to a shelf, pulls out these diapers, like, okay, these are pretty easy to put on, even if you're home alone. He's like, wait, I didn't say I needed them for me, I need them for a baby. So that was kind of hilarious, because he's like, oh, he's an old guy, he's probably pooping himself every so often. You know how old people are. So I thought that was kind of hilarious. And then he's just like, okay, well, if you need baby diapers, we got this size, this size, this size, this size, boys, girls, also, okay, bottles, we got all these kind of bottles, we got these really amazing nipples for the bottles and stuff. This one's from New Zealand, it's got an elephant trunk shaped nipple on it. We got a rocket style bottle, so, you know, if it's a boy, you know, they might be like, hey man, that's cool, I'm gonna open my mouth up for the rocket. I don't know, just, you know, random ass stuff. And Joseph's like, okay, I'll take one of everything. It's just like, whoa, calm down, Joseph, that is expensive stuff you're getting. Which we do see that Joseph is about to, like, calculate what the difference between yen and his currency is, and he's just like, you know what, whatever, I'm not even going to bother with this, just here, it's not my money. He basically used all of Josuke's money to pay for an enormous amount of stuff that just wasn't needed at all he needed was like one bottle. I can see getting like the multiple diaper sizes just to be on the safe side, but he bought all these bottles, navels, probably all these other stuff that he really didn't need one of everything of. So, you know, Josuke, at the end of this episode, did see the receipt and he freaked out because he said that was his life savings, you know. So I was like, yeah, I'd probably be really salty about that too, honestly. But we do have some serious moments in this episode, such as the baby getting all worked up and using his stand ability to make anything and everything within a certain radius just disappear. And while it's disappearing, it's just becoming invisible. Nothing is actually being cut out like we've seen with other stands. It becomes invisible. It looks like something has been cut out, but it's still there. It's just that chunk or portion of the actual item is invisible. So while I was doing that, the baby is all worked up, and somehow the stroller ends up rolling down this hill and going into a nearby river or lake, whatever you want to call it. So Josuke jumps into action, gets in the lake, and tries to find out where the baby is, because he can't see it because the stroller is completely disappeared. The baby is invisible as well, so he can't find out where the baby is at all to save it. And that's when Joseph steps in, and he's just all like, I'm old, I don't know if I'll survive this, but slits his wrist, which is pretty dark. But through doing that, he was able to help Josuke find the baby, and it was just like a whole like moment like, oh shit. What Joseph said was kind of scary because you don't want to see him die. He's such a good character, and I just wouldn't want to see him go out like that at all. I don't want to see him hop into a series for only 2 eps and then die like that. It's just, it wouldn't feel right, and it'd be super depressing to see. So if he's going to go out, I'd like to see a little more of him, and if his stand ability improved anymore, or, you know, just at least have some, you know, character development with him at this point in time would be great, and I would like to see that before he ends up getting killed off in any way. But that's it for these two episodes. I really enjoyed these episodes. Very humorous and lighthearted in the second episode of the bunch here. And I gotta say, I am so hyped for the next episode, which will be next season here. And I just can't wait. Josuke, Joseph, and Jotaro all grouped up in one, along with good characters like Kyoichi and Okuyasu. Oh man, it's going to be great. I definitely can't wait to see more of just everyone grouped up together. So, if you enjoyed this discussion video, please leave a like, as it would be greatly appreciated. It helps support the channel and it makes me feel warm and fuzzy on the inside, as well as subscribing is cool if you're new. If you're not new, what you need to do is tell someone who is new that they should definitely subscribe. No questions asked, and as always, keep it steezy, and I'll see you in the next video.